Today, we have a real talk. And what I wanted to talk about with you guys today was I wanted to talk to you about slaying the monster. And a lot of you guys don't know what slaying the monster is, so I'm gonna explain it to you, okay? We all have that monster that lives in our head. And that monster is the thing, whatever the thing may be, whether it's working out or whether it's following a diet or whether it's calling on that account that you're nervous to call on because you're scared of them a little bit, or whether it's asking that person out. Whatever it is, we all have a monster, okay? Sometimes it's the insecurity we feel about our bodies. Sometimes it's the inadequacies that we feel just because of the pressures of the society we live in. Sometimes we're just pissed off and we don't know why. And whatever that why is the monster, okay? These are the things that keep us up at night. These are the things that discourage us and cause us anxiety and cause us fear. You ever been walking around and, you really don't know why you feel off, but then all of a sudden, you do that thing that you've been kind of putting off and then you feel better, okay? That's what slaying the monster is about. And the reason that we call it slaying the monster is because if you don't slay the monster will eat you the fuck alive, okay? You will live a life of anxiety, of fear, of confusion, of frustration if you don't make a habit of slaying the monster, all right? So you have to understand, this is normal for people to do. We all have days where we don't feel like doing what we need to do. We all have days we struggle. We all have days that we dread getting out of bed. We all have these days, guys, every single one of us. But the reason that we have these days usually comes down to we are not doing something that needs to be done, all right? That's the monster. So think about what that is in your life right now. Think about what it is that you're not doing that you could do right now that will actually relieve the stress, the frustration, the anxiety that you're walking around with. Maybe it's having a conversation that needs to be had. Maybe it's talking to your coworkers. Maybe it's talking to your boss. Maybe it's talking to your significant other. Who knows? But something is causing you to feel this way. And unless you understand that you have to slay that, meaning take care of it, get done with it, you are going to continue to live in anxiety, frustration, fear, and the way you feel right now. And you don't want to feel that way, okay? So a lot of us go our whole lives not understanding why we're walking around with extra stress and extra frustration and extra anxiety. And when you feel yourself feeling this way, I want you to think about what the monster is. What's the monster? Okay? Because here's the thing, and we are all guilty of this, me included, okay? The longer we allow that monster to live in our brains, in our minds, the bigger and stronger it gets, the scarier it gets, the more powerful it's perceived to be. And what ends up happening is we build this thing up to be so much stronger and so much bigger and so much scarier than it actually is, that it causes us a disproportionate amount of anxiety, fear, and frustration in our day-to-day lives. All right? Nothing's that hard. Nothing's that bad. And if you would just learn to take care of these things as they come to you, you would learn that there's a lot of freedom in understanding how to kill this monster in your brain when it's a little bitty monster, not a big, bad, scary monster. And the reason I was inspired to talk to you about this today, guys, is because I had a project that I've been putting off, and I've been putting it off and putting it off and putting it off, literally putting off the project for like a year because I was so frustrated with how the project was going. And what happened in that time was the project got scarier. It got more difficult. And I'm laughing because literally I sat down yesterday and knocked it out in an hour. And I spent a whole entire year having anxiety and stress and frustration about not having it done. And the minute that I had it done, I felt great. Okay? So it's necessary for us to understand a couple things. One, we have to identify what that monster is that's causing us all this negativity and all this anxiety and all this energy that's bad. And two, we've got to go slay the motherfucker. All right? That's what has to happen. And the reason it has to happen is because unless we take care of these issues, we end up making them into something that sucks all of our positive energy, all of our momentum, all of our positive brain projection and activity and creativity that we would have, because we're worried about something that isn't even that bad. Okay? Once you get done with this, you're going to be reminded how great it feels to overcome these situations, guys. And isn't that when we feel the most alive? Isn't that when we have the best feelings about ourselves right after we do something that we've been dreading to do? It is. And you know it is. Because every single one of you, no matter how frustrated or how much you may be struggling right now, you all have experienced what I'm talking about. You've all slayed a monster in the past, which means you could slay plenty of these motherfuckers in the future. Hey guys, do me a favor. If you enjoyed that clip, if it made you laugh, if it made you think, if it made you have a new perspective, go over to iTunes. Check out the full-length podcast. You're going to like it.